Sorry, I tend to get carried away with my thumbnails. Alright, we got a lot to go through. I was really hoping to have 1.8.6 out by this point, but the end of summer is coming very, very rapidly. In fact, within a week, I will be in class right now at college, which is kind of weird to think about. And I do not have 1.8.6 for you guys, which is kind of unfortunate, because after the last video of me standing up for what I believed, and some of you just being like, just tell us that you weren't going to add weed. I was hoping after that to be like, here you go, here's 1.8.6. But it's been silent since then, because I have been quite busy this summer, like, pretty stinking busy, and then the breaks I do get, I take them. I have not been developing New Frontier Craft too much the past 2 or 3 weeks after that last video. It's really stupid close though, but there are like 2 bug fixes that are on the Trello that I need to get to, and those could take from 5 minutes to several hours. So that's really going to be the determining factor, because I've gotten scaffolds added to the server now, and that's like the last big addition I have. Now it's just little changes or bug fixes that I need to wrap up, start giving it to the higher ranked guys to start testing it, and then hopefully publicly release 1.8.6, but that's not going to be this summer. And this is the first thing that I'm going to have you guys vote on. Do you guys think it's a better idea to release 1.8.6? And my plan would be maybe late September, early October, after we've settled in from school and know what our school schedule is like. And by that point, you're probably looking to, occupy your time a little bit more with random stuff, now that you've gotten into the gist, because you have that full month there. Because I know I've had that before, mostly in high school, after I've, totally got my classes down. I get to a point where I've kind of mastered it by that point, so I end up looking for, what happened before is I would just do YouTube videos. So I thought maybe that's the time I should release it, or should I wait until like Thanksgiving, when there's a lot more people not playing New Frontier Craft, or not in school, and are able to play New Frontier Craft? Would that bring in a lot more people? Because New Frontier Craft updates have taken a long time, and they're very, very big to regrowing the community again. And if I release it at a poor time, I think it could really not grow as much as it could and stifle the community a bit. So when do you guys think would be a good time for me to release New Frontier Craft once I've got it tested? I'm going to be at college, and this is going to be a hard semester, so it might be after September. That I just might not have it finished by that point. But if I do, that's what I'm going to vote on. Release it as soon as possible, or release it towards the holidays. Because I know most of us are in college now, so I have to have a big announcement. I have to have a big announcement. That sounds bizarre. I don't know if I said this in my last video, that we're moving to the modern game. It's official. After 1.8.6, I will be making New Frontier Craft 2. NAC 2, baby! That's what it'll be called. So if I end up continuing the old version here and there, it'll be, New Frontier Craft 1.9 or something like that. But New Frontier Craft 2 is going to be, and that's its name for now. Maybe I'll come up with something better in the future. But version 2, as it will be referred to, will be on the modern game. Sorry if the audio quality has gotten significantly worse, because my microphone just crapped out on me. It's what happens when you don't really record very often. Where was I? Yes, moving to the modern game. So currently, what's going to happen is after I release 1.8.6, we're going to have these big bad debates of what should stay in the game, what should move with the game, how should we restart New Frontier Craft on the modern game with just stuff. And I mean, the first biggest debate, and it's already been kind of going on in the background, is what version should we put on New Frontier Craft? Should we make it 1.7.10, which is a very common modded version? Should we put it on the most recent game or version, which actually looks pretty nice, not gonna lie, because dude, I was swimming around with the seaweed and the salmon chasing me. It was pretty cool. Of course, it's got the poor combat that people really don't like, but I can use that to my advantage, I think. I could totally rework that system to work with New Frontiercraft and all of its different weapons. So it might actually be kind of cool. And then it would actually display like how much damage and knockback and whatnot it has. But yeah, there's going to be several just debates of things we should remove. Like another thing is like the Enderman. Should we keep that in the game? Should we take that out? Because in my opinion, at least as far as I remember it was pretty lame. Should I replace it with something more powerful? I don't know. We got big talks about that once I get 1.8.6 done, because I need to get that done in the first place. So once I do have 1.8.6 released, I will turn on the Anarchy server, and here's another vote that I'll put in the Discord. And if you don't have a Discord, like, where have you been? Go on the Discord to vote, because it's the most one-to-one type of vote I can get where people can't abuse it. And we'll vote on if, would you like the Anarchy server to be non-PvP or PvP? So sort of a lawless, but you can't kill each other. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like that just doesn't work very well when you have a completely public server like that. In fact, there's a good chance there's a bit of whitelisting that's going to happen once 1.8.6 release, and I'll tell you why in a moment. So maybe if it is whitelisted, I could have just an Anarchy server for that. So I could have a whitelisted, just freedom server, I guess I would call it, where you don't PvP each other. Because I know a lot of people want that out of our current server. Yeah, there's a lot of things that we need to decide on as summer's coming to an end. So that brings me to why I would think of whitelisting servers. And one answer: cryptocurrency. I've talked about it a little bit here and there before, but I still really want to do this. I want to have a way that I can actually reward you guys for making really cool stuff on my server, because I value it. And because you guys create cool stuff on my server, I'm able to post it on our YouTube channel. And people see it, and it makes New Frontiercraft bigger. So I really love when you guys build these big things, even though it's just, there's no reward to it right now other than it having there and me just making videos of it. We would actually have an economy, and that would be cool, and I could promote better building from it. So I've been thinking, what if I had an actual, the currency on the server is backed by a cryptocurrency or some form of, it could just be dollars. That is one of the options. So there's another whole set of decisions here. And I'll explain to you the 3 different approaches I want to take with crypto, or possible approaches I'll take. And this is another vote. Because I want to see what you guys think. 1, we could just have no cryptocurrency and it's just dollars. It's still not going to prevent me from not making a whitelist, because I feel like there could be different ways people, with actual money being laid down here. I would need to be a lot more on top of making sure people can get in the server as quick as possible. But to have that whitelist for just security reasons. Because, I don't know, someone might find some weird abuse, and if they just come on with different alts and whatnot, that's going to be so hard to deal with. One of the tenets of the main server was not to keep it open, it was its security. And to keep the world as long as we could, and to keep it online as much as we could. It was not to keep it public. So, I'm not going against any of my promises there. So one of the options is, don't even think about money. I guess there's technically 4 then. Don't even think about money. And just keep it online and public. I mean, I wish I could keep it online in public while having the crypto-backed idea, but I just don't know. I feel like there's going to be an incident, and it's just going to be like, we're just going to have to whitelist the server. There's no way we can avoid that. Third option is no cryptocurrencies, and it's just dollars. What's the advantage to this? Well, it's the common currency we all know. The thing is I guess I would have to create like millicents as its main currency, because I feel like 1 cent would be equal to several stacks of cobblestone. And, you know, winning a prize would just be me giving you like 50 cents or something like that. But I would have to split it up into like these milli or micro cents, so then we can actually trade a decent amount. I would need to reset everyone's account, and I would give a heads up to everyone before I do that. Setting everyone to 0. So I would just say, you know, with the amount of money you have, buy, and then you just have your resources and sell them again for actual cryptocurrency. So there's just the dollars, which means I couldn't really attach it to the server. And the dollars, you know, if I pay you with some, I don't know if PayPal charges for just sending cents to people, but one of the big things about one of the cryptocurrencies I'm going to talk about is with dollars you have fees. And that brings me to the first cryptocurrency. And there's only 2 I'm considering. The first one is Nano, which is meant to be a currency. It's very fast. Transactions happen within seconds. They're not like Bitcoin where it takes days sometimes. There's 0 fees, and that's also because there's no miners. It's a currency. It's not really meant to be what you think of as cryptocurrency with mining and then you get rewards and that secures the system. Their system's secured by people running big nodes, and those computers are there just to confirm stuff. And it's still decentralized like a cryptocurrency. It's instant because there's no middleman. So that's the interesting part about Nano. And it's also, because of that, it's becoming a commonly accepted, like it's gotten a lot more value recently. So it's a good thing I bought that recently. After the little crypto dip that we had recently, that's come back up a lot stronger than the rest. So we could accept Nano, and I would love to do Nano because it can be chopped into such tiny pieces, and that's why it's called Nano. There's a ton in circulation. It's like a 128-bit number that stores your currency. So 1 nano is equal to like a billion of, you know, I think it's called like a plank or something like that. That's its single unit. Whereas a Satoshi, it's like a million. Of course, it doesn't really matter too much because once you start getting down to really small amounts, it's worth basically nothing. But that's Nano. But of course, that means you can't earn it on your own unless you completely do stuff on the server. And what I mean by that is the second one I'm considering is Burstcoin. Burstcoin is a cryptocurrency, a lot more what you would think of, but it's mined with hard drives, which we all have. It's called plotting. You plot some data, and over time it starts giving you burst. And they've got some really cool ideas with what to do with their cryptocurrency because, you know, there's several petabytes that are mining right now. And they're like, why don't we transform this into some giant, you know, decentralized storage of some form? So that's one of their big goals in the future, and I think it's a really cool idea. You know, giving up some of your hard drive space to the internet of this cryptocurrency and it providing you benefits of slowly paying you. It also has the ability, they're working on making it kind of like Nano with instant transactions with something called the Dymaxion, which is not quite a blockchain. It's a little bit of a different technology. But that's not there yet. Burst has fees. They're not very big, but they are there. But the big advantage to Burst is that you could earn burst mining, and I think that'd be really cool if we had our community kind of turn into this little mining brigade and then we would create a little bit of an economy on the server out of it. So that's the advantage of Burst, because I don't want to use, you know, some sort of graphic or like matrix processor where it needs your graphics card. That's what mining needs today for most coins, and that absorbs a lot of power. The cool thing about the hard drives is you could find an old hard drive, plug it in, plot it, and it takes hardly any energy to run it, and you're mining already. And you can make profit very easily from that, even though it's a very small amount over time, because I know I've already gotten a little bit. It's not very much. I mean, I'm talking like, you know, a couple cents per week of having like 600 gigabytes. But still an interesting idea, so I'll throw out the Burst idea too. And the cool thing about the votes on the Discord is that you can vote for multiple. You know, if you don't like one of these ideas, just don't vote for that one, vote for the rest. I think that's the best way to vote. So that's going to be another vote, and I'll kind of post a description there too of these coins that I'd like to use. I mean, I could accept all three, but the reason why I'm putting this out is, you know, once someone walks into the server, what should their currency on the server be? Should they look at their money and says, you know, this many units of nano, this many units of burst, or this many units of dollars? Because that's what's probably going to be more commonly accepted on the server, and then in the background I could accept the other ones. You know, I'm always going to accept dollars. But what should be the primary, you know, focus of what currency we use? Because another advantage of Nano is it's very commonly accepted. I don't know if I said that already. Because it's a much bigger and more popular currency. So the cool thing about this idea is not only can you withdraw the money and use it yourself in other areas, but I would accept it as a payment for the server. Like for getting, not admin rights, but I want to add in an extra rank, where if you're paying me, then you can have multiple set homes and stuff like that. Which is, you know, not something that's necessary, but something that's really nice. And then I could actually start making a little bit of profit off the server, and so could you. I think it's a cool idea. You know, I've heard the argument, you know, well, people are going to be there for the money, but I say, then they're going to be building and having fun and making money at the same time. Like, who cares? It's just going to help out the economy on the server and get a lot more people's interest, mostly from the communities of the people who create these currencies. I'm sure they would love to get involved in this. And it would be even better if, you know, we move to the modern game and I'm not using this ancient hardware to try to add in these cryptocurrencies. So yeah, that's the plan right now. Because I also want to promote these cryptocurrencies and bring in those communities too, because they're not, you know, Nano's community is actually a really nice one. That'd be a cool thing to see, is a lot of people of them grab interest in New Frontier Craft, because now they can actually, you know, use their money on a game and earn it themselves too. I don't know, I'm excited for that, but when is it going to happen? I don't know. So, a whole bunch of votes in the Discord after this video is posted, so go look at those. Also, apology that the server's been down so much. I mean, it's not even, I don't know whose fault it is. We have the tech guys who are hosting our server now, extremely confused of what's going on, because other Minecraft servers they're hosting do not go down as often. Ours has this, what I've called a ghost crash, where it'll just stop the process, and it'll give them an error code that tells them, we're not sure what error code this is. So they have no idea what happened. The server is stopped dead in the middle of processing, which hurts the world. And it doesn't happen to their other Minecraft servers. So they have no idea what's going on. I mean, I'm sure it's old technology in some form, because we're using, you know, something that's like 7 years old in terms of its code, but that'll go away once we update to the modern game too. So Yeah, I won't be seeing you anytime soon, but I hope to eventually see you on that server.